Have you ever just looked at your to-do list and felt completely, totally swamped? Well, today, we're going to dive into a productivity classic that has a real solution. Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog. If you're looking for a way to just cut through all that noise and finally get more done, you're in the right place. So we're going to break down how this whole framework can give you way more control over your time and, honestly, your life. The main idea? It's way simpler than you think, and it all starts with a problem that, let's face it, we all know. And yeah, that problem is the feeling of just drowning. We are constantly getting hit with new tasks, emails, meetings, and responsibilities, and it always feels like we're just trying to keep our heads above water. I mean, does this feel familiar at all? You're just trying to stay afloat, but the new tasks just keep coming in, one after another, like waves. It's a feeling I think most of us know way too well. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That sounds a little depressing, right? But here's the thing. It's actually really freeing. Tracy starts by telling us to just accept this one fact. You will never do everything on your list, and that's okay. The goal isn't to get everything done. The goal is to get the right things done. And that, my friends, is where the frog comes in. So, what on earth is this frog that we're supposed to be eating? Well, this is the big metaphor for the entire system, and it actually comes from a pretty famous piece of advice. And there it is, a quote from the one and only Mark Twain. It's really the inspiration for the whole thing. The idea is simple. Get the worst thing over with first. Just tackle it head on, and the rest of your day is going to feel like a piece of cake. But what does that live frog actually mean when we're talking about productivity? So your frog, it isn't just some random hard task. No, it's your most important one. It's that one thing that will move the needle the most, the one that gets you way closer to your biggest goals. And you know, that massive impact is often the exact reason we put it off. So Tracy gives us two really simple rules to live by. Rule number one, if you're looking at two important tasks, you've got to tackle the bigger, harder, uglier one first. And rule number two, don't just sit there and stare at the task, thinking about it forever. Just start. Dive in. But okay, before you can even figure out what your frog is, you need to do a little prep work. You have to, as he says, set the table. And this whole part is about one thing, getting absolutely 100% crystal clear on what it is you're trying to do. This right here is the foundation of everything. Tracy argues that the biggest reason we procrastinate is just confusion and fuzziness. Think about it. If you don't know exactly what you need to do and why it matters, you're naturally going to drift toward the easy, less important stuff. And he lays out a super clear process for this. Step one, decide exactly what you want. Be specific. Step two, and this is so important, write it down. A goal that's just in your head is basically a wish. Step three, slap a deadline on it. You got to create some urgency. And finally, step four, make a list of every single step you need to take to get there. Suddenly, that fuzzy wish becomes a concrete plan. Okay, so now you have a clear, written-out plan, but your to-do list is probably still pretty long, right? So how do you find the real frog in a pond full of tadpoles? This is where we learn to prioritize like a pro. And this brings us to a classic concept, the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. All it really says is that about 20% of the things you do will account for about 80% of your results. And guess what? Your biggest, ugliest frogs are always hiding in that vital 20%. Now, here's the trap that almost all of us fall into. We get busy with the trivial many. You know, that 80% of easy little tasks that don't produce a lot of results but make us feel like we're being productive. Your real mission is to resist that temptation and go after the vital few first. So, how do you actually do that? How do you apply the 80-20 rule to your messy daily list? Well, you use the ABCD method. It's a super practical tool that forces you to identify that vital 20%. Before you start your day, you just go through your list and label everything. A items, those are your frogs. B's are your tadpoles, the should-dos. C's are nice to do, D's can be delegated, and E's, you just eliminate them. And here is the one non-negotiable rule that makes this whole system click. You never, ever, ever do a B task if you still have an A task sitting there. If you've got a few A tasks, you just number them, A1, A2, and so on. That A1 task is your biggest, ugliest frog.
When you tackle that first, your brain releases endorphins. It's like this little hit of positive energy that makes you feel amazing and motivates you to keep going. So you've set the table, you've gotten crystal clear, you have identified your biggest, ugliest frog. Now there's only one thing left to do.
That's right, because all the planning and prioritizing in the world means absolutely nothing if you don't actually do the work. This is the moment. It's time to stop thinking and just start doing.
This is really the habit of all high performers. They develop what's called an action orientation. They build their own momentum by just jumping straight into their most important work and sticking with it until it's 100% done. And this really gets to the mindset you need. According to Tracy, only about 2% of people can work completely on their own, without any supervision. He calls these people leaders. To join that group, you have to become your own boss. You have to be the one to put the pressure on yourself to tackle that A1 task and see it all the way through. So there you have it. That's the framework. Get clear, prioritize like a machine, and then take immediate action on your most important task. It's a simple system, really, for cutting through all the clutter and making a real difference. And the only question left for you is, what's the first frog